Hello, Aries. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. Now your reading is activated. This is a timeless reading. It is activated when you see it and it sees you. You begin to commune, and you will take from it whatever resonates. The rest of it is, in the ether, really. It's happening somewhere to somebody, probably. So anyways, we'll begin here with one of my most favorite and beloved energies, the Queen of Discs, coins, pentacles, pantacles, whatever you prefer to call it. Here I say discs as we work off the Thoth deck. And so this is kind of the Earth Mama, right? This energy is it is the hearth where the fire of life burns, where things are transformed, where things are built, tempered. It is not the tempering, but it is the vessel in which things are tempered, right? And so this queen, this beautiful mother, she is loving, she is nourishing, and she is brutal. She is the embodiment of build and destroy. She is the embodiment of that which keeps us alive in the physical. She is survival. And so we're going to see how this energy kind of comes in to play. I love this earth energy. I am a Virgo sun, and I am a Capricorn rising. So you see, this is the Capricorn. The disc is the earth energy. And so this, I just think of her as Earth Mama. Kali, Earth Mama. More directly related to the subterranean goddesses, the night side goddesses. We're talking about Ereshkigal, Persephone. It's sometimes even Demeter, although Demeter would be more like an Inanna, or Ishtar. But these night side goddesses, ARIES, Discordia, these kinds of bringers of change. Really, they tear down that which is not suitable, right? So it can be a tough energy, but it's also one that that you are, it's like that feeling of coming into, your mother's arms, putting your head against her chest, and she's holding you and like patting your hair, kind of making you feel as if you can relinquish all of your stress, your struggle, because mom is going to take care of you. She's going to be that safe landing place for you. So that's also the energy. All right, let's get started. We have right here in the middle, we have this beautiful image of, it looks like a person. Here are the eyes, the mouth, the head, maybe a little bit of a hairdo here, or it kind of looks like a bird nested in the hair. Now we have the body, the torso here, and then holding in the front the number 3, almost kind of looks like a pregnant belly, which would be the Princess of Discs. If you can think of how she is shown in the Thoth system, she is bearing child, right? And so it makes sense to me that this would be here. This is a life that is fruitful, This is a life full of opportunity. There is a sense of hopefulness. And there is a sense of, well, I don't know. I don't know if every mother feels this way. But when you get later in your pregnancy and you begin to, kind of get scared about the whole ordeal that's about to, come about, right? No matter how you give birth, it's all scary. I don't care if it's your first one or your fifth one. It's still nerve-wracking. You never know, right? So you struggle with these anxieties about it, and then there is something that happens, or at least it did for me, where you just start to surrender yourself to the process. I remember the night before I was induced, and the night before I went in, that next morning, very early in the morning, I couldn't sleep. I was having contractions. And I sat on the side of my bed, and it was my husband was asleep and the cats were asleep. And I just sat there and I cried because I was scared. I didn't have my mother to be with me. And also it was during lockdown. I was having my first baby during the very beginning of lockdown. So that was fun. But I was so scared. And suddenly it's just like that feeling of I can't explain it, but the universal mother, the all mother, the mother of mothers. I just knew that my body would figure it out, and I had to go along with it. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I would be okay. And it didn't matter what the outcome was. Everything was going to happen how it's supposed to. I just needed to be devoted to the path. I needed to just stay the course. And I did. And it was, I won't tell you my whole birth story, but there's a feeling here. There's a feeling of allowing yourself to trust in something greater. Something, it doesn't have to be faith. It doesn't have to be divine. It doesn't have to be God, goddess, guardian angel, karma, dharma, the Tao, all these things. I mean, it's all of them. But yet, this could be that like you're trusting in your partner. You're trusting in your workplace, somebody you work with, allowing yourself, and I know it's not easy for you, Aries, and I love you, I say this lovingly, it's not easy for you to let other people take the wheel. You've always taken care of yourself. You've always been hyper independent. And let's be frank, you just don't really like how people do things for the most part. You're not rude about it, but you rather do it yourself. This is a time where I feel that it's in your probably best interest to relinquish some control. Okay? So we have this beautiful, beautiful scene of not only the three, pregnant with life, we have the birds nesting, we have intense psychic, emotional imagery, visions. You are having a lot of moments where you're going through your day, you're doing things, you're, going to the bathroom, you're folding clothes, you're driving to work, and suddenly you have these moments where it's just this kind of download of, information, things that you probably don't usually even think about, things that you hadn't considered before, old interests that suddenly pop back up and you're finding answers, and it just seems like things are unveiling. I was going to say unraveling. It's not, I mean, that's happening too, but unveiling themselves to you. And you are starting to really notice. You're starting to see it, pick up on it. Everywhere you look, it's starting to feel very synchronistic. And it is. It is. The universe is talking to you. So, we also have, it looks like, and right here, I want to relate this to the All-Mother. Woo, we have the, did I move that? I did a little bit. I knock into this and it kind of moves the thing. I'm going to, maybe just like that. Hopefully it's not too loud. Sorry, you guys. So I have this big sweater on. I'm like bumping all over. So this one reminds me very much of a lot of the archaic goddess figurines, votive figurines that have been found. And that's usually kind of just, it almost does kind of look like a cross or an ankh or, you know, something like this. I'm thinking along the lines of like the snake goddess of Crete. Now, these aren't the exact kind of statues I'm talking about. More like around the ages of like, you know, the Venus of Willingham or whatever it's called. These old prehistoric Bronze Age or, you know, whatever, statues. And so this to me is the All-Mother. This is her reminding you, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm in your psyche. I'm in your culture. I am often, you know, seen woven into so many archetypes and so I feel like this is a place of great mother consciousness for you if you are a woman or a man or you identify as, you know, any of the many other things that we could align ourselves with. I do feel like there is such a presence of the mother archetype within you, as we all contain all of the archetypes, right? So we also have, and I'm going to look up here, we have the elephant up here with, it looks to me like the cock or the, what is it called? The chicken, right? In the Chinese lunar zodiac. And this is like a double sign of excellent luck, good health, longevity, happiness. The trunk is up, right? Reaching for the sky. So we know this is the most auspicious symbol. I think things are really coming together for you, Aries, at least in like a micro way where you within your life feel good. Maybe not the best, maybe not overly joyous or anything, but you feel good. You're at ease. Things are going pretty okay. Now, that might start to bring up some anxiety because, you know, you don't trust anything too much. And when things seem good, that means something often not so good is following right behind it. So I feel like for you, you maybe are in a little bit of a posture of not quite trusting, but trying to let go of your anxieties about the whole thing. Now, where were we looking next? What did I see? This one looks like it says from, F-R-O-M. And then we have the number 59. We have somebody who's been... Ooh, we have people who seem to be in some kind of conflict down here. We have a house kind of over here, it feels like a very earthy home. They're having conflict. I don't think this is your home. We have I love. And then we have like kind of a house over here. We have a person who looks like they're looking in the window. And we have another person who is pointing this way. We have a person with a tail that looks like kind of that old school devil tail. And we have a stop sign. Okay, so I feel like there is somebody in your life who maybe is like married, or they have, you know, they're raising their kids, their grandkids, whatever. And there's a lot of chaos in their home. There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. I think that even just like being near the energy, it makes you very anxious. That person from that household who you know, I think is pretty obsessed with you. I don't know that it's like in a dangerous way, but I feel that like they constantly are appearing into your life and you notice it. You see it. I feel like part of you has this almost kind of oppositional kind of tendency where if somebody gets too close, or say you become good friends with somebody and then they start to feel like they can tell you what to do, or, you know, give you unsolicited advice, it's almost kind of in your nature to do the opposite, or to just dismiss what they say because you didn't ask them for that. Like, I don't need to hear from you because I didn't even ask you for any kind of input, dude. Even if they're right? So I feel like for you, this kind of interest, it makes you kind of repelled, right? Like, you don't want somebody to be interested in you. You want to be interested in somebody. And then you want them to become interested in you because you've decided that you want them, basically. And so I see this as being something that maybe you need to talk to them about if you value this friendship or relationship, because you don't want to lose a relationship or a friend because you haven't just stated like, bro, like, I don't like that. I don't feel that way about you. Or maybe I do, but I don't like you going about it in this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would prefer if you, waited for me to come to you, or, just toned it down a little bit, or what have you. So I feel like, this is maybe, and it sucks, I know, it kind of is ridiculous that sometimes people just don't get the hint, right? But instead of just ghosting them, which is, I'm pointing at myself, like, immediately, if I get any kind of weird vibe or uncomfortable vibe, it's like you've never even met me. It's like I don't even exist. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, this is a place where you kind of just unfortunately have to do that part of the work and tell them, like, bro, I don't necessarily like it like this. This is too much. This makes me feel unsafe. It makes me uncomfortable, and if they can't hear that, then they don't belong there anyways, right? They don't care about keeping you comfortable. So yeah, I feel like that's probably going to be a thing for you because it just, you don't like it laid on heavy unless it's like that very specific type of person. You've had like maybe one or two people that did it just the right way in your life, and it probably was when you were young, right? Like your first courtship or your first serious boyfriend, in high school or college or girlfriend or other. But partner, I guess. I don't know. But Anyhow, this isn't it. It could be like developed into it, but I don't think it's it. And I'm looking at this over here. It says IT, it. This isn't it. Okay, I'm drinking my coffee. Thank you for putting up with me. All right. So we have the omega up here, which is the last letter in the Greek alphabet and kind of symbolizes the end. We have a butterfly and we have it looks like feminine person right here with a child. Okay, so I'm going to say mother and daughter. We also have the letter C and Y. I want to ask, we're going to ask the tarot, what is the dynamic for the mother and daughter? What is going on there? This is how I shuffle, you guys. No, not really. I shuffle. Oh, there's the Fool. Okay. So we have the Fool. Whew. I feel like it's a relationship where both know but choose to not to talk about a lot of stuff. Right? Like, this was messed up. That, your mom did this, or you as a mother did that, or whatever. And that it was not the right thing, and you feel guilt, or you feel angry about it, or hurt about it still, even all these years later. Yet, there's no conversation. And I don't think that there ever will be. I don't think that you will ever confront your mom. I don't think you're in a bad place with her necessarily, or it could be that you're no contact. But I feel like it's almost kind of this feeling of you both mutually, or you and your child, your daughter, your son, whoever, have decided that you're just not ever going to talk about this. Okay? So I want to see maybe 2 more cards. We're going to see. So we have interference and luxury. So, So I'm of the belief that one of you in the dynamic is very material world minded, where the other is very interior minded. And there's a misalignment there. I'm guessing that you're maybe more based in the material world, with kind of little highlights of, the mystical or the other, or just kind of being, a little bit more fantastical or dreamy or a romantic or kind of flaky, or, you know what I mean? And for you, though, I feel like you want to live a life, and we have the 4 of Cups and we have the 8 of Swords. You want to live a life that is not going to be sullied by anything that you can control. You're going to have all of your ducks in a row type of deal, because you want to live in luxury a little bit. Now, I don't necessarily mean luxury brands, but you want to live a life that's safe, it's abundant, and you have the privilege and freedom to be an autonomous person, right? To be an individual, to make your own decisions, which is relatively modern, I would probably imagine. Oops. And so for you, I think that all of this is the priority, where you watch this mother figure, or your daughter or whatever, kind of willingly choose to not partake in the same kind of lifestyle as you. And at points, I think that makes sense, and other points it doesn't. I don't think you're so closed-minded that you can't see where they're coming from. I think it just doesn't always kind of mesh with the way that you live your life and kind of you as an individual. Okay? All right, let's see. We have the number 40 is our first lucky number. Number 8 is our second lucky number. And let's see. I'm going to go 35 on this one. 35. 35. All right. Well, Aries, I love you. I hope that everything is going well for you. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, I want to say, again, I just am so thankful to be here with you. It is one of the great honors of my life, and that's real. So I love you. I thank you, and we will talk soon.